the end of the year is such a busy time for all of us. You know, we're all trying to hit our numbers, we're trying to hit our goals. And then on top of it, you have all of these holidays. So not only do you have retail selling holidays, but you just have holidays in general. So like from a personal perspective, there's just less time to get things done. So not having a plan in place so that you can just show up and execute already puts you behind the eight ball when you're trying to hit those goals. So I think that's definitely the biggest reason why it makes sense to walk into the end of the year with a plan.
Yeah, I
Right.
think,
And I think in our last webinar, I'll let you go, Mazzoni, we talked
yeah.
about planning out for the year. So like if you can be planned out for the year and then Q4 is planned out in the beginning of the year, now you're just kind of fine tuning. But go ahead.
Hey
Dan.
man, you did it again. You just
Oh,
stole my thunder. But I think that's
we worked together too long.
right. We do this too long. We're too long. We have too many grays. But I think that again, from our perspective, from that retail ready mindset, I think Q4 should be no different than the rest of your year, right? You should have that proactive plan in place. I think why there's such a heavy emphasis, obviously, in Q4 is we're closing out the year. We have goals, we have numbers that we're looking to hit, and we also know that regardless of the size of a dealer's budget, a lot of it tends to be pushed toward the end of the year, right? That's where the market tends to get a little more saturated, where there's a lot of people utilizing advertising to get that message out to help close their year strong. So again, I think at the end of the day, it's, do we have that plan in place so that we can be first to market or very quick to market? And again, we know that they're thrust months. We know that not only our competition, but also at the OEM level, at tier 1, tier 2, we're going to see significant increase in spend there as well. So it's just nature of the beast. We know we want to close the year out strong, and having that plan makes it that much easier.
Yeah. So that's the why, right? But how do you go about it? It seems like a big undertaking. There's a lot of things happening, and we joke here at the agency, right? Every year we have Thanksgiving. Every year we have Black Friday. Every year Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's, they come around every year, right? Yet we always seem to be caught flat-footed at the dealership level. So why don't you guys talk a little bit about how you go about, or how we go about, planning out an entire quarter's worth of creative?
Corinne, or would you like me to take it? You can pick.
I can kick us off, and you can
Sounds
interrupt
good.
me as you'd like.
I won't interrupt. I'll wait till you're done.
So I think again, like to your point, like just taking a look at the calendar and seeing where the retail holidays are, where are things that you want to align with, or that you need a big sell, like a selling push. I think taking a look at the calendar is the first thing. And then once you've identified like where I need a marketing window, where do I need to be when, and what do I want to be saying? And then we can really start working from there. Because I think if you don't know that, you're sort of just throwing darts at the board and you're not really achieving anything.
Sure.
So I also think it's important to sort of, I know we don't necessarily always want to look backwards, right? But I do think in planning that it is good to look at some historical data of what did I do last year and how did that go? Because maybe I need to test and change some things. Maybe this didn't go so well, and I should probably, not employ the same strategy. So I think even though we always want to be forward thinking and looking to the future, I do think that this is one place where some historical data can really help us paint the picture. But those would be my first two things of where to start. I would say looking at the calendar and really saying, I need to be on, like my messages need to be on and hitting consumers here, and here are the holidays I want to align with. And then what did I do last year that worked or maybe didn't work? And really starting to apply the strategy at that point.
Gotcha. DM?
Yeah, I think what I would add to that too is really just looking at each month and really getting granular with respect to, okay, I know the first week of a month I'm still going to be waiting for incentives. So can I be strategic and utilize that first week to have a used vehicle push or have fixed ops push? So it's really utilizing the month to help move the needle in different areas, as opposed to trying to do everything at once, is one part of it. I think the other part of it, which I mentioned, is we do know that there are some pillar campaigns that OEMs put out, right? So how do we either A, amplify that message and, gain traction from money that we already know is being spent? But something that we always like to tell our dealers is, yes, we probably want to make mention of Toyotathon if we're a Toyota dealer, but what are some of those things that we can do that will make us stand out in the marketplace? So if all 6 Toyota dealers that I'm competing with are going to be talking about Toyotathon, what's that little bit of difference I can put on it? Whether it's a specific incentive that I'm going to do at my dealership, those types of things I think are just as important as well as really having that understanding. And then, Corrine, I think you made a really good point with regard to just people's schedules during the holidays, even internally at the dealership. So whatever ad dollars you're spending, the other part of the how to make sure it's successful, Bill, is just make sure the team knows what the plan is and that they're part of it, and that you have that coverage so that if certain folks aren't there, whoever's going to be filling in knows, okay, I know we're having a buyback event this Saturday. We're staffed for it. We're answering the phones properly, all those types of things. I think it all just complements each other.
Yeah, if I can just interject from the media side, just complement all of this preparation. It's a big political year. We have these ad spots disappearing quickly. So the sooner that we can plan for the media and your creative, we can get these campaigns running. We just need to give them some time to get up to speed. So just make sure that you are adding that in a timely fashion, giving it time to perform. So that way, when we're looking back a year from now, we can say, all right, we started it a week earlier. We saw better performance. So just that ad planning in this political year. And